Hey guys, Parfax here, and today I'm going to be bringing you a video about an in-depth guide on how to level your weapons in New World. All right, let's get started. So with Greatsword right around the corner, or maybe even here, you're looking at leveling the Greatsword. Now, this video isn't only about the Greatsword. This applies to literally any weapon in the game. So if you are looking to level any weapon, stick around. We're going to give you a bunch of spots. We're going to give you some tips and tricks. And I'm going to go over with the Greatsword what abilities and skills I would put in first. So first, I do want to say the best leveling spot is actually gone. So down here in Monarch's Bluff, Dead Man's Cove, which was the best weapon leveling spot in the game, is now no longer there. It's there, but they're not elite mobs. They're level 17s now, and it's completely useless for leveling your weapons. So there's no need to go there anymore. But have no fear, we have a lot of places to get into. So first, let's talk a little bit about what it is to level your weapons. Now, when you're leveling your weapons as you're leveling, it's going to go based on your level. So just go to mobs that are right around your level, and this is going to apply to any of the spots that we have in this video, and you're going to want to kill those. If you go to mobs that are a little bit too lower level, then it won't be nearly as good. Once you hit 60, all the mobs kind of even out, and it gives you the ability to really go back to some of the lower level zones and go ahead and kill them. Now, elite mobs also give you more experience, but sometimes it's not elite mobs that you actually want to kill. It's about killing as much mobs as possible. One mistake that I see a lot of people make is they try to really full clear. Full clearing is not the name of the game. The game is trying to get the most experience possible. And a lot of times that means leaving that one random little musket player off on the side. It also means that if you're doing a bigger area, you don't always have to be right with the group. Be within XP range, but still hitting other mobs. It's about efficiency and killing as many mobs as possible. It's not about full clearing. I know some people's OCD might make them want to go kill every mob, but it's just not practical if you're looking to really blaze through the levels. Also, probably the biggest mistake I see players make is killing bosses. We do not need to kill bosses. If this boss is going to take us any more than killing 2 regular mobs, then we don't actually want to do it. Typically, that's about the amount of experience you get is about 2 or 3 times a regular mob level. And if it's going to take you that long, unless you are full clearing so efficiently that you have downtime, you just want to skip them. Even if you aggro a boss, feel free to kill all the mobs around it and then leave them alone. All right, now that we went on that little rant, let's start getting into some of the spots. All right, so we're going to have kind of a multi-layer process here. Now, what I suggest everybody to do is go to a place very similar to here, Canary Mine. You can also go up here to Brightwood, down here to Blackwater, to get the first few levels into your Greatsword or any weapon you are leveling. Here, there's a lot of very low-level mobs. You'll be able to get 3, 4, 5, 6 levels really quickly to allow you to really progress faster. The problem with going to some of the other spots is just, it's gonna be a little bit harder for you to actually kill the mobs. Now, we're gonna help you with that towards the end, but going to a place like this is going to allow you to get the first levels really quickly. I would stay here even upwards to level 10, because that way you can get a nice base into your weapon so that you can go to some of these other spots a little bit better. Now, if you want to go to these other spots level 1, you definitely can, but getting a few levels in the Greatsword is going to drastically improve your quality of life when you get up there, because going up there and trying to just melee down the mobs, it's not going to be terribly fun. But if there's a weapon that you'd want to go up there at level 1, it definitely probably would be the Greatsword. So you got a few levels in the Greatsword, and now you're looking to find a few areas to really finish out the rest of your levels. First and foremost, Brightwood Isle is probably going to be the next Dead Man's Cove, but honestly, it is not nearly as good. Here, you probably only want 2, maybe 3 people with you at max. Once you start getting to 4, 5, 6, 7, this place gets to be very, very bad experience, and I would rather go to a ton of other places. This area is not too bad. It is still lower level mobs. It is recommended for level 35. So you can go here as a level 60 character with 1 or 2 of your friends and still have a decent time leveling here. I think this place is going to be probably pretty popular. It's going to be probably the second most popular place on this list. But if you can get there, you can get some decent experience. Next, we're going to go to what I believe is going to be the most popular place on this list. And it is up here in Restless Shores. And that is the channel view post and the ocean view post. These are going to be the easiest. The great thing about this area is you can have everybody but one person sit at the entrance. One person gathers up all the mobs, and you're able to kill them with ease. Now, you can move back and forth between the two if you would like, or if there's somebody camping one of the two, you just have everybody sit at the entrance, you watch some YouTube, preferably Parfax Gaming, or you just have fun talking, BSing in Discord, or however you are doing it, and allowing one person to go gather them all up, everybody nuke them down super quickly, and you get pretty decent weapon XP. Now, it's not super incredibly fast if you can't get all or both of these, but honestly, there's not going to be like an incredibly fast one on this list because Monarch's Bluff, I'm kind of comparing it to Dead Man's Cove, and there's just not one that's as good as Dead Man's Cove was. So, a little unfortunate, but this place, if you can get it, is going to be really good. Next, we're going to talk about Cutless Keys in an elite zone here. I forget exactly what it's called. You're going to see it on your screen, but this is another elite area. This area is going to be interesting because it has actually the volume of mobs you want. They're elite mobs, but there's a ton of exploders, and there's even an exploder boss. So if you go here, I would definitely make sure you put down a tent because I imagine a few people will die. You can see here that as a level 60 character, I am not really in any danger of dying, especially if you have a healer here, but it'll be pretty interesting to see people go in there and possibly get one shot by some of those pools may have 10 exploders. Now, if you can kill them, they actually die pretty easily and pretty fast and give you pretty good experience, but it'll be pretty funny to have people down here. I think this one will be very uncontested because of the exploders, but I think will be overall one of the best ones if you can get a nice rotation down to level your Greatsword. Next, we're going to leave the main area and we're going to go up to Great Cleve because there's two good ones up in Great Cleve. First and foremost, this one here at the Defiler's Excavation. This one actually has a lot of gold and platinum as well, so it'll be a great time to get that. They are corrupted mobs, and there are a ton of them inside the cave. This one I have used, especially when it came to the blunderbuss. And on my alt character, this is where I leveled most of my weapons, mainly because I was trying to main bow on that character. So we went in here and we did a lot of farming. This area is a pretty dang good solo spot and is good if you have 2 or 3 people, kind of like Brightwood. But once you start getting to a full group, I don't think this area is worth it anymore. Now, when I say worth it, do keep in mind that worth it is relative because when Greatsword comes out, people are going to be trying to level this all over the place, but that is why we're going to give you so many different spots to actually level your weapon. But if you can get here, this is probably the place that I would stay if you're in a group of about 2. This is probably my preferred spot. You're going to make some coin with the ore, and you're going to get a lot of weapon experience. Next, we're going to go a little southwest of the spot where we were just at, and we're going to go down here to Wayward Mounds. This is an absolute great spot solo. There are a bunch of moats here. You can get some decent experience. Now, the thing about this spot is it's a little bit difficult. You basically have to go into each house because there's multiple mobs in each house. And you can actually do it in 2 pulls, but I kind of do it in about 4 because you're gonna have to wait no matter what. So if you go to the house and just kind of pull a couple mobs at a time, and then you'll get about 6, 7, 8, 9, and then kill them, go to the next couple houses, get all those mobs, group them up, kill them. It's a pretty efficient spot. There's a person in my company who actually found this spot, and this is where he literally leveled every weapon in the game outside of just doing like chest runs, etc. This is where he leveled every single one of his weapons. So it's a pretty good spot. It is not as well known until maybe this video, but you can see here that there's a decent amount of mobs, and it's actually just an overall a very good spot to level your weapon, and you can do this one solo. Next, we're going to go all the way up to Shattered Mountain, and we're going to talk about, well, lower and upper Sviken. So we're not technically just talking about Shattered Mountain, but these two areas are going to be very good. Both these areas have a high concentration of mobs, and if you have a full group of 5 to maybe 10, 10's pushing it a little bit, but if you have a group of right around 5, this is going to be one of the perfect spots to level your weapons. You're going to get some mob experience, you're going to get some nice loot from the elite chests, the stockpiles. There's a ton of them in both these areas. It's going to be a great place. There's actually some ori there as well. So this is going to be a good spot. Remember in the opening monologue, I said don't kill the bosses. This applies here too, especially in this area, because it is just a complete waste of time. If you find yourself running out of mobs, you definitely can. You can actually go through Lower Sviken's probably a little bit better. You're seeing a video here of Upper Sviken. These you can solo as well. You can see here that I'm actually soloing these mobs relatively easily. But if you have a group of 5, you can grab up a ton of them, nuke them down all in once. This is going to be a great spot. All right, now I didn't take any clips of these, but one of the better spots also to level is actually up here to the northeast of Upper Sviken, and you can go into these different settlements. You can actually go to multiple of them. You have two right here. You can kind of go between here. This one doesn't have a ton of mobs, but you can kind of, especially right here, go kill all the mobs here, go kill all the mobs here. Now they really, really hurt, and they have a ton of bows here, so you do want to make sure you're going with a full group, but this can be a great spot. There's a ton of mobs in here. There's probably 30 mobs in each one of these areas, so that's 60 mobs total. It's not quite as good as probably doing something like Upper Lower Sviken, but if you have a group of 3 people-ish, 4 people, these are going to be 2 great spots. Now, you, of course, don't have to go up here and kill these mobs. I mean, there's other places, you know, Eden Grove. Basically, any elite zone will be good if you can do it efficiently. The big thing here is you don't want too many people. Once you start getting over a group, you're going to need to be in a place like Upper Sviken, like a place like Lower Sviken, to really make it work, because you need essentially elite mobs, and you need a ton of them. Honestly, I would rather go to some of the solo spots that I have if you're going to get a bigger group, but it is going to be kind of hard to find spots when it comes to launch. Now, a couple other like little quick honorable mentions. You can actually go down here if you're looking for another solo spot. We're in Eden Grove. You can go inside these caves. I think it's this one right here that is the best in my opinion, but you can go in here, kill this cave, go down here, kill this cave. Right down here, a Rafflebones spawns. This one I killed this Rafflebones a ton of times. There's ori all through here. There's some fire motes all through there. You can get all these. That's a really good spot. There's some mobs up here, but not a terribly amount. So these little cave right here and right here are a great spot. I've actually leveled a few characters there, or at least a few weapons. All right, so you know the spots, you know where you're going to go, but there's a couple things you should probably take with you on your way there. Now, we're going to go here to the trading post. We are on live. Okay, we were looking for a blunderbuss again, but there wasn't one on there. So we're just going to look up coatings. So let's say you're going to go to up top or up north into Great Cleve, and it is going to be corrupted. So we want to look for even common corrupted coatings. These are, oh, you're separated by gear score, 2 a piece. Now you can actually get them for even cheaper. I think the strong ones are even cheaper. Yeah, look, 5 cents. So 5 cents will give you an additional 11% damage. These are crazy underrated. I would go here. Make sure you buy these. There's no reason for you to not buy these. Get a couple of each. You know, get 10, maybe get, 20 of each, so that if you decide to go to a different area, you don't have to go back to town. And then also, of course, I always go ahead and buy at least weak honing stones. They are only 5 coins a piece, give you an additional 4% damage. So between the two, you can get an additional 15% damage for under 6 coins, which is pretty crazy. Now, make sure you grab a few of them because you want to be out there. You don't have to go back. But without doing this, it's kind of, you're just realistically losing time without doing this. So make sure you go ahead, get your coatings, get your honing stones. So lastly, we're going to talk a little bit about the Greatsword and how I plan to level it, or what skills I'm going to put in first. So first and foremost, a couple abilities we're really going to want to get. We really do like Roaring Rupture. We like Crosscut a little bit, and then we like Relentless Rush. Now you can also go down here and get Skyward Slash, but we realistically don't need it. So first, we look here, Charge Heavy, so 15% armor penetration. Nope. Increase base damage by 20% when attacking foes above 90% health. Nah, not really. So first, we're going to put a point in here to crosscut. We're going to go down here to Relentless Rush. Next, we're actually going to move over, and we definitely want to get Roaring Rupture next. So we're going to do Perfect Vigilance and then Roaring Rupture. From here, we can get a nice little damage increase from Blade Honing, or we can go over here and gain Grit for crosscut. We're probably going to do this because mobs do have a lot of staggers. We'll go there, and then we are probably just going to finish off crosscut so we can get that extra damage. Now that we're here, we can go down and get our empowerment from here. After that, if you feel like you need a little bit of survivability, you can go down here to Adaptive Rush, but we're probably not going to touch that. We're going to go over here. We're going to grab our buff. Then we're going to go down here and grab our... No, we're not going to do heavy attacks. We're probably going to do Keen Posture. This is just after gaining Onslaught Stance, your next attack within 5 seconds will get a 100% increased critical chance. We're going to go down here and get Critical Comeback. This is just a great self-sustaining tool. Then we are going to go ahead and get Step and Strike to get a little bit of extra power. And then after that, we're just going to fill out our tree. We're going to try to get Unrelenting Assault next. So we'll probably gain this. Then this to get us an Onslaught whenever we want. Get that. Yep, there we go. And then you can fill out the rest of the tree. Once you get to here, you're just going to be doing your thing. But make sure you are getting the passives that you need, the damage passives, right after you get your abilities. So I go Crosscut into Relentless Rush, into Perfect Vigilance, and then into Roaring Rupture, which you can do if you would like. You can actually go Crosscut, Relentless Rush, Skyward Slash, and then on your next level, respec to Crosscut, Relentless Rush, and then Perfect Vigilance and Roaring Rupture. But you guys don't really need me to walk through that, but I figured I'd give you how I'm going to level it. Big thing is AoE damage. We want to get a little bit of self-sustain. That's why we like Roaring Rupture, but it also does a lot of damage as well. It gives us some Fortify, and it's pretty awesome. It is really good once you can get down here and get to the Adaptive Rupture, but you won't worry about that too much. But all right, guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Like always, I try to give you a nice in-depth guide on how to level your weapons in New World. This goes for any weapon in the game, not just the Greatsword. I hope these areas helped you out, and I hope this video helped you out. So like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It is greatly appreciated. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.